Thank you for joining. Okay, Chris Johnson. Thank you for joining. I appreciate everybody who have connected to this very program today. I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you, secure you wherever you are watching from. I'm so sorry for some time I've not been able to come online due to some other issues. I was having some issues, so I have to deal with some very, very critical issues before I come online. I appreciate you for your patience, and those who have been able to join the broadcast, please, as you join the broadcast, you share on your own platform. Share to family and friends, share to people who are around you, share to even our enemies, share, because today we are going to speak about something that concerns them, one of their deceitful questions they are asking. Some of the deceitful questions they are asking. Chidebere Mba, thank you so much for joining. Chidebere, I appreciate you. Thank you for connecting. The Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect you. So any place you are joining from, I say thank you very much for joining. Mainly people who are joining from Biafra land, I appreciate you. I thank you so much for connecting. I appreciate you for joining me. I say may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide you, protect you, and secure you. As you all know, we are in a critical time and we must have to continue to be steadfast. If you read on the topic that I put there, the topic that I put there is a kind of a question. What are we going to do to get Biafra before the election so that we don't participate in the election? You see, that is the question that some deceivers are asking, some distractors are asking. That is why it is important that sometimes we have to come online to elaborate certain things. I bumped into a program today that somebody was hosting. One of our Biafran brother was hosting a program, and he has a very large followership, and in that program he was asking that people should tell him what are we going to do today so that people will not participate in election. We should stop talking about no election. What are we going to do? Anything we can do today to make sure we get Biafra before election day. That people should come and say what they know we can do. If you can say anything we can do to get Biafra before election day so that people will participate, let us do it. Instead of saying no election, why we don't have any plans. Those are distractors. Those are distractors. In the first place, when somebody says that, in the first place, you'll be asking that person, what have you been doing all this while? Anybody that's asking that question is not a follower of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and that person is not a supporter of Biafra. If you are a follower and supporter of Biafra, you cannot be asking that question. Say, oh, what are we going to do to get Biafra before they conduct the election so that we don't participate? We don't need such reason for us to decide if we will participate or not. We don't need that reason, because we have something we have been doing and something we are doing already. But you see people, they bring out such topic to be able to drag attention, to begin to drive people's mind away from the real thing. The situation of the contraption called Nigeria now is a situation where everybody has to prepare to save themselves. Everybody has to prepare to save themselves. The Fulanis have drawn the red line with their terrorists. They have drawn their red line, and they are fighting by all means possible to take over the territory. But still, you see some Biafrans, they are coming to play to the gallery to begin to speak and say things that they know cannot be able to hold. How can somebody be asking and say, what are you going to tell me? Tell me what we will do to get Biafra before election time so that we cannot participate in election? That is a deceitful question to ask. It's a deceitful question. Either you are not a Biafran or you are not a follower of Biafra. You are not been following Biafra. Umweze Isuofia, thank you for joining. Umweze Isuofia, thank you for connecting. So when I saw that program, I tried to call into the program. I tried and tried, but I wasn't able to get in. How can somebody be asking such a question? When you're asking a question and telling Biafrans that the only reason why you want them to participate in election is that they should tell you what they will do to get Biafra, or if you cannot get Biafra before election, you should go and vote. That is a distractor. That is a deceitful question to ask. And people that ask such questions, they are people who are not supporters of Biafra. They are not supporters of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Some of them, they will start, when they are starting their program, they will first of all start by telling you that they love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They love Mazi Nnamdi Kanu so much that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is their idol. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is this, is that, is that. They love him. They love Biafra. Even they want Biafra They will tell you they are members of IPOB, they are this, they are paying their tax, they are paying their rent, they are paying their monthly due, they are paying this and paying that. After making all this nonsense, they will come out and tell you that since we don't have something to do now to get Biafra before election time, let us go for election, or else let us go for election. There is no need, we have to go and participate in election. What a deceitful statement. Very deceitful. These people who are saying this, it is very, very clear that those people have never been followers of Mazen Nandekano. They have never supported Biafra at any point in time. These are people who are following their stomach. These are people who are looking for viewers. They are looking for viewers. There are people who are trying to hold their ground. James Friday, thank you for joining. James, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. So when you see such people coming to ask that question, it baffles me. It baffles me. When you see somebody telling you, now, okay, tell me, what are we going to do? How can we get Biafra? You are saying people should not go and vote. How can we get Biafra? Tell me how we can get Biafra before that time. How can we get it? These are people who have never, ever supported Biafra. They are never supporters of Biafra. Because if you are somebody who is supporting Biafra, who is following Biafra, number one rule you must know. Like those, some of them, they come and claim that they are followers of Mazen Nandekano. They support Mazen Nandekano. They love Mazen Nandekano. I am his followers. I pay my dues. I do this. I do that. But at the end of the day, you see the kind of argument they bring. You will know that these people have never ever supported Mazen Nandekano or Biafra. When I was watching that program today, it baffles me what people were coming online to say. I tried to call into that program. I couldn't be able to call in. People were coming into the program, people were calling in and saying all manner of things, people were talking all manner of things there. And the question the presenter was asking is, what are we going to do to get Biafra? If you can tell me what we do to get Biafra now before election time, I will promote it, I will do it, and make sure that we get it before. This is a deceitful statement to make. A deceitful statement to make. Don't listen to such people, they are deceivers. Anybody that is asking you such question or telling you such thing have never been a supporter of Biafra. Because if you are somebody who is supporting Biafra, who is supporting Biafra freedom, number one, for you to be a supporter of Mazen Nandekano and somebody fighting for freedom, you should know that you are fighting for your own freedom. You are fighting for a permanent freedom. That is what you are fighting for. That is number one thing you have to bear in your mind. For you to open your mouth and say you are a supporter of Mazen Nandekano, you are a follower of Mazen Nandekano, that you support Biafra, you should have it at the back of your mind that what you are telling us that you are a supporter of your total and absolute freedom. And if you are a person supporting your total and absolute freedom, you cannot be telling me that I should tell you what you will do today to get Biafra today, so that the election will not hold. Your common sense should tell you that getting Biafra itself is a process. And already we are in that process. We are in that process of achieving Biafra. And we have given a deadline. We have given a deadline. We are in that process of achieving Biafra. And you come online and you be asking people, what are we going to do today to get Biafra today and tomorrow? It means you have never been with Biafrans. You have never been fighting for Biafra. You have never wanted your freedom. You are part of the one Nigeria. You are only pretending to be a follower of Mazen Nandekano. You are only pretending to be promoting Biafra simply because you want to win followership. That is what we are doing. Simply because you want to retain your followers. I have said it time with that number. It is not compulsory and mandatory that everybody must cry for Biafra, must protest for Biafra, must be an activist of Biafra, must stand for Biafra. If you don't want to be part of it, keep mute and don't be a distraction or a hindrance. Do not distract people who are on that track, and don't be a hindrance to those who want to have their freedom. You don't have to. But if you are one of those who know you don't want to fight for the freedom, you are not strong enough to fight for it, you cannot speak for it, stay aside. Don't be a distractor. Don't ask senseless questions. You and I know that for Mazen Nandekano to be freed today, it is going to be a process. And Biafrans already are on that process of the release of Mazen Nandekano. Biafrans are already on that process. And every single thing that we are doing today is having effect. If you don't know one of the protests, at least you know about the civil disobedience that is going on in Biafra land. That civil disobedience is drawing attention of the world into the whole issue. If you don't know anything, you know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have a legal counsel both in Nigeria and international, and every one of them is making an impact. If you don't know anything, you know that there are agitators on the ground. There are some instruments that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have put. There are some information Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have put on the ground to make sure we continue to do what we are doing to get Biafra. If you don't know anything, you should remember that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said that you should be consistent in your demand, that it is either Biafra or death. You should know that. But how can somebody now who claim to be a follower of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, somebody who claimed to be a lover of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, somebody who claimed to be that I love Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, what he preaches, I love what he does, but at the same time, you will come to your platform and you will be supporting election. You will be supporting election. You will be campaigning and telling people to go and vote. If Nigeria were to be a sane country, if you are sincere today, you cannot be talking about voting for an Igbo presidency. You will not be talking about voting for P2B because he's an Igbo man. You will not be talking about voting for P2B because he's your tribal person. You will not be talking about P2B because he's your person. You should be talking about voting a president that is going to stand for a nation. That is how sensible nation. That is how countries that work. That is how they campaign. That is how they campaign. They campaign based on what somebody can offer, not based on maybe your brother or your sister or your ethnic group or whatever. These are two different things. But if you know you cannot be able to stand the pressure, you cannot be able to sit on us with us the way we are sitting, stand still, the way we are focused, the way we are consistent. If you know you cannot be consistent, it is better you keep mute and face your other careers that you have. Face your other career. It is not compulsory that everybody must be a Biafra agitator. It is not compulsory. It is not mandatory that everybody must be a Biafra agitator. It is not mandatory. And there is no law that says that everybody must come on board before Biafra comes. It doesn't happen like that. And if everybody is telling that everybody must come on board before Biafra comes, it is a lie. Everybody must not come on board. But majority are coming on board. Majority are already on board. And there are people who are very, very consistent pursuing what they are pursuing, which is permanent freedom. Permanent and absolute freedom. If you don't want to be part of it, why are you distracting others? Why are you asking senseless questions of distraction? Why? Why are you asking such senseless questions? Exactly. I saw the program where this man was hosting this program and he was asking such questions. When you ask such questions, the first thing that should come to the mind of any genuine Biafra, the first thing that will come to the mind of any genuine Biafra is that this person has never been a supporter of Biafra. He has not been an advocate of Biafra. He has never been a supporter of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. You see, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu became what he is today. You see, anybody that comes online, when they come online, they will tell you, I love Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I respect Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He is my idol. He is my this. He is my that. But when you listen to them, what they have to do, they don't love Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Neither do they respect him, or they don't even listen to what he's saying. This Mazen Nnamdi Kanu you are talking about have said time and time again that it is either Biafra or death. And he continues to say so. And at the same time, this person that claimed to be his lover of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be asking a question. Tell me what you are going to do today to get Biafra today so that people will not vote. Even when you know with your whole education and every knowledge you have, you know that coming of Biafra is a process. You know that the coming of Biafra is a process. And you know that we are already on that process of actualization of Biafra. You know very well. Or maybe you don't know because you have never ever supported Biafra, neither have you ever campaigned for Biafra. And you have never been the supporter of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But you bring a distraction to begin to ask unnecessary questions, to tell people, begin to give people reason why they should deviate from the message of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and follow another message. And at the same time, you are claiming to love Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and follow it. It doesn't work that way. With all due respect, it doesn't work that way. I don't like calling people's names. I don't like mentioning people's names. But when people begin to do things that are not right, when you begin to show that you are not straightforward, when I see such a thing, I come and speak about it. There are some questions that A true Biafran that has the blood of Biafran flowing in his vein. Somebody that loves Biafra, that wants Biafra to come. Somebody that is full of Mazen Nandeka. There are some questions you cannot ask. There are certain things you must not say. It's just like somebody will come and tell you, I love Mazen Nandeka. I'm a member of IPOB. I'm fully. They will tell you that, you know that Mazen Nandeka cancelled the election before. He said no election. At the end of the day, he said, let us go and vote. The person will be saying it with all pride. That Mazen Nandeka said no election. Later he did election. If you are a Biafran and you follow of the agitation, you will know why Mazen Nandeka did what he did at that particular point in time. You will know why he did what he did at that particular point in time. And today, the state that we are, you still want us to repeat that same chance that you have been looking for. This chance you are looking for today, telling us to try P2B, maybe this one will work. Telling us to try. That same chance is the chance that Mazen Nandeka have given you in the past, and you saw it before your own very eye, you threw it away. At that point in time, there were so many attacks against Mazen Nandeka, including it was because of that same period that the Asorock Abuja begin to talk against Mazen Nandeka, our brother in the creek. It is because of that very instruction that very period when Mazen Nandeka said there will be no election in Biafra land, that we will not participate. That was why our brother in the creek began to attack Mazen Nandeka. That was where the problem started. He began to fight Mazen Nandeka from all corners. And today you will know that it is not only him fighting Mazen. There were fights against Mazen Nandeka from all corners. Even people who were members of IPOB, even his closest ally, they were attacking him. Let us give a chance. Let us give a chance. Let us reach a deal. Let us. After much pressure, Mazen Nandeka, being who he is, still lets them to see their failure before their own eyes. He let them see their failure before their own eyes. Because if he refused to give them the opportunity, they will say he didn't. He gave them that opportunity at that time. But after all said and done, everybody saw it that the person who on this same P2B who contested with Atiku Abubakar, they won the election. P2B and Atiku Abubakar won the election. It was a clear winning. They won the election. Undoubtedly. They won the election. But at the end of the day, the same Fulani people still put the person they want to put, Muhammadu Buhari. They didn't give up the power. They rigged the election. They rigged the election before your own very eyes. They rigged Muhammadu Buhari in again. Before your own very eyes. But today, some of you are pretending as if they don't know why Mazen Nandeka did what he did that time. They don't know what he... And you see somebody who will tell you that I love Mazen Nandeka. He said, well, after Mazen Nandeka did this, we have to do it. How many times will something happen to you before you learn a lesson? How many times? How many times will something happen to you before you learn your lesson? How many times? The reason why I do my program here, most of the time I come out, I'm coming out to encourage my fellow Biafrans. Those who are Biafrans, who are willing to fight for the freedom of Biafra. If you know that you are willing to fight for the freedom of Biafra, my message is for you. Not for those who claim to be Biafrans, but they are not. They are just Biafran in their mouth. There are so many of them. Today, there are so many of them. Even some of them who are not supporting Mazen Nandeka, today you see them. Some of them, when they speak about Mazen Nandeka, they are not talking about Mazen Nandeka because they are talking about what Mazen Nandeka stands for. Mazen Nandeka stands for justice and equity. Freedom of Biafran people. That is what he has been asking. At a point in time, Mazen Nandeka say that he valued the freedom of Biafra more than his own life. He say, Mazen Nandeka say, if it is my death that is going to give Biafra, so be it. That shows you how Mazen Nandeka valued Biafra. And you will come out and claim to love Mazen Nandeka. You claim to be a follower of Mazen Nandeka. You claim to be a follower of man. At the same time, you will be there telling me that I should go and participate in an election.
Are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and get the point that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you, if you come and stand in the way of freedom. So you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We'll crush you.
Their interest is suppressed. Biafra is the key. Once they can hold Biafra down, they can hold the whole of Africa down. Hey, freedom fighting, sorry. Because all these people are criminals. They are saying there is no way this man cannot be a criminal like themselves. They don't have a different breed altogether. They don't know that. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I don't do all this nonsense you do. My father was a very rich man, not ostentatious. I had the finest education that his money could afford. We are not poor. Have never been. That is why a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. If you're not full of yourself, you cannot be a freedom fighter. You have to go everywhere. We must continue.